Hello everybody. UK is in the grip of Storm Brendan. We had some really foul weather the last couple of days, and apparently we're going to have another dose of really foul weather tomorrow, possibly Friday as well. But today the sun is out and the winds have died down, so I thought I'd get out here and have a look at this bonsai beech forest that I created back in the spring of last year. I think it was April. Yeah, the trees have rooted into the compost really well. They're no longer all loose and wobbling about like they were when they first went in, which means they've been doing what I hoped and filling this pot with root. They haven't put on a lot of top growth, simply because they've been filling the pot with root, and they can now begin to grow away from this spring. Hopefully, I would like them to be another 6 to 8 inches taller, I think. This is the front view, and so we have the tallest trees towards the front here, and then as the trees go to the side and to the rear, slightly shorter trees to give a sense of perspective. So if I give it a bit of a twirl, unfortunately for some reason, whether it's the weight of the pot or well, it must be just the weight of the pot, the turntable won't turn, so I'm having to sort of manually pull this round. As you can see here towards the rear, the trees are a bit shorter. Have got a bit of a problem with some weeds which need to come out, and then I'll do a bit more tidying up of the pot. So get rid of these big things that are just taking away nourishment from the trees and using up space that the trees can otherwise grow into. So let's get rid of that. And there's a few of these little ones. May have to go in with the tweezers to be able to reach them easily. So yeah, that's better. We have the seed of field maple, several, so I'm going to pull them out before they germinate, because they probably will. They come up like weeds in my garden. They're not shy in growing. So yeah, so anyway, continue that 360 back to the front. Quite a bit of moss, which I will be trying to get rid of. And back to the front again. Okay, so get rid of these weeds. Some of this moss. It's mainly a problem where it's growing up at the trunk. I don't want that because it will cause the bark to rot, which we don't want. So I'll keep cleaning up. And we'll speed the film up through this bit so you don't get too bored. Okay, so yeah, you get the gist of that. The other thing I want to tackle is the problem of these trees looking quite juvenile, and I say that because they've kept their leaves, which is what juvenile beech do. If you look at a beech forest, old growth beech forest, you'll see that the old trees lose their leaves just like any other deciduous tree. It's only the younger trees and the younger growth on old trees that keep their leaves. So I think I've said before, part of bonsai is the art of illusion. And the illusion that you're trying to create is that you've got an old tree, or in this case an old forest. So I need to remove the leaves, and in so doing that'll immediately make the trees look slightly older. Once you're aware, or certainly once you're aware of the juvenile growth thing, it'll make the trees look older. This is one of the reasons that beech often uses hedging plants, because they keep their leaves, so help keep the privacy aspect of a hedge by keeping their leaves. And the reason they keep their leaves as hedges is because they're regularly trimmed and the growth is always young growth. So it's just a question of going around trimming off all the leaves. I also do this with hornbeams, which do the same thing. They will keep their leaves on younger growth, so you can make them look a bit older by removing the leaves. Of course, you don't have to. If you like them or like the look of them with the leaves on, then by all means leave it on. Okay, so you're looking at down on the trees at the moment. Let me give you a sort of more of a collie's eye view. You can remove the camera without making you all feel too giddy from the tripod. And I did say when I made when I made this video, creating this group, I was going to look out for a little model collie to go in there, and I did. So yeah, so there's a sort of collie's eye view amongst the trees. Hopefully there's no straight lines. I was trying to avoid straight lines. Okay, hopefully that hasn't made you feel travel sick. Okay, so it's going to take forever trying to trim them off. I'm just going to pluck them. Hopefully won't do too much damage. Okay, so you get the gist of that. I'll turn the camera off and keep going, and we'll come back when we're done. Okay, so that's the trees defoliated, and yeah, I think they automatically do look older. To me they do. You may have other ideas, but to me they do definitely look older than when we started this process. I'm going to give them a little bit of a tidy up, but not a huge amount. Only where there are a few items here. This branch, for example, which is coming straight out towards the viewer, I'm going to lose. Get rid of that, and another one similarly just there. And I have what's called a T branch here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little. And there, here we have, and I'm going to remove this one, and there's a stub here I'm going to take out. Other than that, I'm not going to do a huge amount. I'm liking the way the trees are kind of avoiding each other. I'm just going to possibly shorten a few bits here and there, just to encourage the trees to back bud. There's a branch here on this tree that is growing up and is going to cause problems with this tree, so I'm going to remove that and the dead stub there, and I'm going to shorten this piece back like so. Okay, there's some pieces I noticed as I was going round the tree defoliating, where there are just pieces where branches are growing into another tree, and I'm just going to shorten those off. But in particular at the back of the tree, in this back corner, we have a bit of an issue. I did include in this planting, and I can't remember how much we talked about it in the video creating this, a tree that starts in the middle, towards the middle, and has followed the light and escaped out the back. Just feel that gives a little bit of realism. It's something I saw in the trip up to the Woodland Wood Coop. If you haven't already watched that video, it will be, it is in the playlist, and you can find that at the end. Take a look and you'll see what I mean about the trees just, ambling round each other almost as they're competing for light. These in particular here are definitely going to outcompete one another if we're not careful. So I'm going to take this piece off completely, which is shading out this tree. And this tree has a branch which is coming in and shading into this tree. So by doing that, this will take over as the new leader, and hopefully they won't be competing with each other for light and air. So just work my way around. I see a piece, I don't like the look of it. I feel it's in the wrong place, I chop it off. Okay, so again, growing into the center there. This is kind of growing 3 apexes, so I'll shorten that off. Okay, so I think that's about it for this group of trees. Did I say at the beginning, I think there are 35 trees in this particular grouping. So that's quite a lot of trees in one pot, so it's going to need looking after. If we have a hot summer again, they will use, you've got essentially 35 specimens all trying to compete for the same nutrients and water from the one pot, albeit a big pot. So they are going to take some looking after, but that's what I enjoy doing, so it's not really a problem. So yeah, that's all for this video for now. I will clean up all these leaves and things, and the rest of the moss, and possibly even give them a bit of a top dressing. There's a couple of low spots once the moss has been removed, and we'll come back and look at this tree probably in the summer. These trees. So you had a collie's eye view. Here's a kind of a bird's eye view, so you can just get the gist of where the trees are spaced out and have just curling around one another just to get to the light and to the air. Thank you all for watching, and please do take care of yourselves.